All right, good evening, everybody. We will call to order the regular scheduled village board meeting of April 14th, 2026. With that, please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Lana, roll call, please.
Mayor DeBold.
Here.
Trustees Amos.
Here.
Babiak.
Here.
Brockman.
Here.
Chapman.
Here.
Luciano. And Selfridge.
Here.
Not gonna do that.
Yeah, and pardon me, so before we get going into the actual order of business, we do have to open a public hearing. We do have a public hearing regarding annexation agreement for GoPro. At this point, so we will call the public hearing open. Is there anybody from the public wishing to address the village board regarding the GoPro public hearing? Seeing no comment, take a motion to close said public hearing.
So moved.
Motion by trustee Amos.
Second.
Second by trustee Babiak. Roll call to close public hearing, please.
Amos.
Yes.
Babiak.
Yes.
Brockman.
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
And Selfridge.
Yes.
All right, thank you. With that, Madam Clerk, you did have a finished roll call complete, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. We do have a quorum to conduct village business this evening. With that, we'll move into our citizen section. Are there any citizens wishing to address the village board this evening? Yes, sir. If you would just state your name for the record. Just when you get to the podium, so it's on the microphone. Thank you, sir.
It's Frank Pastorillo, and I'm here today on behalf of a problem that we have really, really bad on Glen Oaks Lane. I want to state first of all that I have talked to the police department many times. They've been phenomenal all the way through. I've worked with other couple departments prior last year, but the problem is continuing. And the problem I have is that I don't believe any kid should die on the street they live in or any street in our village because of what's happening. They are flying down our streets. They have no concern whatsoever for what is going on. Last October, a year after I came out of a coma and still having some issues. There was a lady that in a black Corolla flew down our street one way, 5 minutes later, flew down the other way. I jumped out and stopped her, got in front of her car, and I said, turn it around. If you're gonna think you're gonna come down here doing 80 miles an hour, the answer is no, turn it around. She told me what I could do, I didn't move. She turned around. I have talked to the police department at that time, Officer Koopman, who wrote some stuff down there. But our police department, and with Deputy Barton, I believe here, you guys are not here to babysit.
Sorry, can you address the board?
Yes, they're not here to babysit. Now, I did call for CC back on October 20th of 25. Whether you got the message or not, I don't know. I was here back for Stephanie back in March, and I haven't heard back from you again. I am not blaming you. I'm not here to argue with anybody. But we have a problem. We've got a black Honda Civic, a gray Honda Civic, a dark grayish green Honda Civic, a dark gray CRV, a lady who lives at 21200 Meadowview who can't control our speed in her $90,000 Yukon stretch, and she can't do anything. The other day, I watched a motorcycle fly down the street. I went after the guy. He turned around. He lives at 21200. I'm sorry. I forgot to write the address down here. But he lives off of Meadowview also. He had his garage door open. I went to his driveway. I said, we need to talk. Was that you that flew on that motorcycle there? There was two in the garage. He says, which one? I said, I tell you what, let's make it this way. Both of them. You can't be going 80 miles an hour down the street and expect that you could do that. You're going to kill a kid. And you know what he told me? He said, sir, he goes, they're in school. And I told him, I says, well, you know what? They're not in school this week. Today's the first day of their vacation. Oh, well. Just the other day, I'm sitting outside at the cul-de-sac of Glen Oaks Lane off of Windstone to my house. The guy competed probably about 5 seconds to go 1,000 feet. And I'm like, really? He slams on his brakes, put his window down. I won't repeat the minute or so of expletives that he gave me, and then told me what I could do and that my day is coming. So I said, you done? And he said, yeah, blah, blah. Turned around and told me what I could do again. I says, I'll tell you what, I'm going to get up here, and I'm not even going to come near your car. Because I want to tell you something. You're not going to kill a kid while I live here. And furthermore, on top of it, you are not going to drive on the wrong side of the road, which is what you're doing right now. He didn't like that. He left. I'm asking this board, and I'm going to be very, very upheld about it. If I have to pay for it, I will. I don't care about Verton. It's another side of town. That's not my problem. We cannot put speed bumps in. I know some people said that you're going to do on over in Verton here, special blah, blah. Okay, whatever. And then when the snow plows, that's not good. We can't make it a one-way because one way or another, they're going to come one way or they're going to come the other way. And they're still going to rip. So I have a suggestion. I will pay for temporary barriers to deliver to my house and put them up. Block them off. While this board decides about putting a berm there, blocking it off, you can let EMS know, the police department know, the school bus people know. They could turn around in the cul-de-sac where Glen Oaks meets Meadowview, block it off there, and then most of our problems, 8 out of 10 cars, are gone and solved. I'm asking for your consideration in all this because they don't care. And we have a lot of kids there, especially on the scooters and everything now. It's an accident waiting to happen. And Cece, I know we've been friends for quite a while. I know you probably haven't seen me like this, unfortunately. The coma and everything else got me ill, but I'm counting on you. I really am. And with that, I'll say thank you.
First and foremost, if you have a concern about traffic for safety of yours and any resident in town, I would encourage you not to address somebody yourself. Without a doubt, call the police, or without a doubt. The last thing any of us ever want is some sort of a confrontation to go sideways. Mm-hmm. By all means, I would encourage you to call the police or let them work on creating a mitigation effort there.
Well, they've been phenomenal with me. I will say that. I've talked to Brian the other Polson, I believe. Polson is it? I believe the other day. Brian's phenomenal with me. Deputy Eric Allen Pryor. Mm-hmm. Everybody's been very good to me. We have a phenomenal police department. And I got to, even with Mr. Noriega over to my side, I got to tell him we have a phenomenal public works department because when I've had issues, I've asked him if he could please help me out or address. He's done it 1, 2, 3. So I don't have a problem with that. But I don't, from a guy that's buried a young adult already, young kid, it's ugly. And I don't ever want to have to do it again, whether it's a friend, neighbor, or anything. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other citizens wishing to address the village board? All right, seeing none, we'll move into this evening's consent agenda. Business item number 1 will be approval of the regular meeting minutes for March 24th, 2026. Item number 2 will be approval of the committee of the whole meeting minutes for March 24th, 2026. Approval of executive session meeting minutes for March 2025 through March 2026. Item 4 will be approval of the destruction of audio recordings for released executive session minutes from October 2023 through September of 2024. Item 5 is approval of accounts payable in the amount of $599,201.43. Item 6 is approval of a deposit in the payment amount of $11,000 and contract with Pyrotechnic Fireworks, Inc. for the fireworks display at the Crossroads Fest. Item 7 is approval of a payment in the amount of $21,085.24 to Noble Tech LLC for the Village Hall IBM sand servers. Item number 8 will be approval of payment in the amount of $142,437.47 to Pertano Construction regarding the water transmission main project. Item number 9, approval of a payment amount of $448,348.44 to Van Mack Electric for the 52 and Windstone signalization project. Number 10, be approval of payment amount of $11,104.67 to Aries for the River Road Lift Station cleaning project. And finally, item number 11 will be approval of a payment in the amount of $18,312.04 to Cornwell Engineering Group for the Shorewood Water Source Transfer Plan. Are there any questions or any board member need any further clarification on said agenda? If not, take a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by trustee Babiak.
Second.
Second by trustee Amos. Roll call, please.
Babiak?
Yes.
Brockman?
Yes.
Chapman?
Yes.
Selfridge?
Yes.
And Amos?
Yes.
All right. Lana, regarding our reports of communications, was there anything that you had received prior to this meeting?
No, sir.
With that, I want to acknowledge our finance department. The finance department received the GFOA Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. So everybody is aware this is a certificate of excellence regarding financial reporting since fiscal year ended March 31st, 2025. This will be the village's 19th year receiving this award. So without a doubt, kudos to your department and making certain, from audits to checks and bill statements, everything is being reported properly and authenticated accordingly. And again, it's nothing more than the fact that the village's financial history and full disclosure and being nothing but utmost transparent with our taxpayers and our residents. So with that, I simply want to congratulate Ann and the finance department, and then humble us with a few words at least.
Certainly want to thank the board for prioritizing the transparency of the village's financial records and allowing us to take these steps to submit for this award each year. And thank our colleagues in every department for understanding the steps that we need to take to continue to prioritize financial transparency for the village and for our residents. So thank you.
Thank you very much, and congrats to the finance.
Thanks.
Next on our reports communications, we have our Arbor Day proclamation. So please bear with me for a minute as we go through the Arbor Day proclamations. We have Arbor Day, April 24th, 2026. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture. Oh my goodness, I apologize for that. Couldn't spit that one out. Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees. And whereas this holiday, called Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. And whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world. And whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cut heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce life-giving oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable source, giving us paper, wood for homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in our village increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. And whereas, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Now, therefore, I, Clarence C. DeBold, Mayor for the Village of Shorewood, do hereby proclaim Friday, April 24th, 2026 is Arbor Day in the Village of Shorewood. And I urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands And I further urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of this future generation, dated on this 14th day of April 2026. And real quick with that, Noriel received from ComEd a bunch of saplings for us to try to help in the effort of Arbor Day to try to help initiate some growth for some trees. How many did ComEd send over, sir?
We were awarded 25 saplings.
So in that effort of trying to help promote Arbor Day and trees and beautification throughout the community, so Public Works is going to try to plant those out there to help them grow a little bit, and we can utilize them as needed throughout the village.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. With that, we'll move on to this evening's order of business. Right out of the gate, we have item number 1 is an YMCA update to the village board. With that, as everybody is aware, the YMCA is nearing completion. They're anticipating to open next Thursday. No,
April 27th.
April 27th. I was close.
Yeah.
Right around the corner. They're working on getting their final touches wrapped up. They've been working with Mr. Steriati to make sure everything is compliant, up to code. And with that, Katie and Trish wanted to come over and just give a little bit of an update for everybody from the community and the board so we can kind of a little sneak peek on what's going on.
Yeah, thank you, Mary, and thank you, Village Board, for your support. As we go through some photos with you today, we're just really excited to share with you how far we've come. And it's exciting to see how much of our initial vision has already come to life with the new Village Shorewood YMCA. So you see on the screen a picture of the contemporary front entrance to the building, and we'll just go on a kind of virtual tour together. Our lobby and gathering spaces, as we've talked about, to create a place for community members to come together and develop new and hopefully emerging friendships. We've got a living room right across the hall from that area that'll provide a place for people to sit and gather. Our youth program spaces, so this is that kids' corner space that'll provide supervised play for children while their family is using the YMCA. We've got a room for our older kiddos that's right across the hall from that, and that space, you can tell, is ready and raring to go. We have community and multi-purpose rooms with incredible windows and just beautiful views out into the community that we cannot wait for everyone to enjoy. You see here our indoor track and gymnasium, so it's looking beautiful. There's a curtain system around it. When you come out next week for the State of the Village, we can't wait for you to see that space in living color. Our indoor swimming pool in partnership with Minooka High School District. So as we look at this incredible facility, we've got an 8-lane swimming pool, we've got seating for 198 people, and we've got a beautiful LED display that's going to allow us to host community events and swim meets that'll bring other individuals to the community as well. So we're really excited about that. We've got an indoor sauna, indoor cycling room with 25 cycle bikes, a group exercise studio. Here is a picture of our strength equipment in the Wellness Center area. We also have an emerging free weight area, so it's a great place for folks to get healthy and start on that new pathway to health. A functional fitness area to allow folks to really get active and hopefully get after it a little bit in that space. And just a few things we wanted to really highlight with you. So in addition to the beautiful pictures, we know that our work together is about so much more than a building. It's about building a sense of community, and it's about creating that kind of combined front porch where everyone can come together. So far, we've got close to 5,000 people, and that number's actually gone up even since we made this presentation. Close to 5,000 people engaged in membership at this new facility. What we're going to see, hopefully, is that number continue to grow over the next few weeks, and we're going to see the majority of the community coming through the new front doors of the YMCA, so we can't wait for that to happen. As we look at our youth programming efforts, we have 293 kiddos already signed up for summer day camp this year alone, with an average attendance of 215 kids per week. We know we're going to have a whole lot of fun over at the Y, and we can't wait for you to see that when you get a chance to come through. And then in addition to that, we're going to be beginning some sampler programs, and so I wanted to give Trish the chance to share just a preview of what's to come in the next couple of weeks for everybody.
Yeah, thank you, Katie. So our sampler programs really are just to give families an opportunity just to get a taste of what we will be offering from summer, fall, winter. So as you can see up on the screen, we'll have adult offerings. So think intro to lap swimming, group fitness classes, things like that. We will have a swim lesson sampler. That gives the parents an opportunity to kind of figure out where is my child at in their ability to swim, making sure that we're able to put them in the proper class. So those will be free. Youth fitness programs, junior strength, kid fit, fast twitch. We do see an overwhelming response of those classes at our Gallowich facility YMCA. They fill up every session, so we're excited to be able to grow those here. Youth sports programs, basketball, volleyball, pickleball, anything you can kind of imagine with that. And then we're excited to announce, we counted the other day, we have 54 classes that our members will be able to take advantage of per week through June 1st. And then 8 classes of water fitness per week.
And as we look ahead at just some upcoming events that we have, we know we're really excited to host the State of the Village address just next week, so on April 23rd. In addition to that, we've got an opportunity for those who joined early to come in and see the facility, to honor the contractors who've helped to build that building and give them a chance to have their families have a special preview tour. And then, of course, we've got a Legacy Night celebration just to honor all of the donors and all of you who've been involved in this project since the beginning. Our opening week is April 27th, so we're really excited to get everyone into the building. And on Saturday, May 2nd, we're going to have a community open house that will follow a ribbon cutting. So noon ribbon cutting and 1 to 4 community open house, free and open to the community. We can't wait to see you there. And we're happy to answer any questions you might have.
I'm going to try to put you on the spot here for a minute.
Sure.
So, of the 5,000 engagements,
Yeah.
do you know how many of those are new versus just
Yes, more
transfers?
than half. More than half are new. So we have more than 2,500 individuals who've joined the facility since February 28th. So that's been an incredible response. Far beyond what we expected, to be honest with you. So we're
Over
really excited about that.
2,500 since February 28th.
Yes, have joined this new facility. And so folks are incredibly excited. Every day we've got people who are trying to come over and we tell them we're not open yet. We will see you in just a couple of weeks. So we're really excited about that. And I think the other thing we're really proud of is I know we talked about the economic engine that a nonprofit can provide to the community, especially one that's providing a quality of life amenity like a recreation facility. And with that, we've actually employed already 178. Yeah, 178 individuals have been hired, have gone through new staff orientation, and are receiving training to begin their new work over at the Y right across the street. So we're excited about that too.
No, we're excited to have you guys. It's been a long time coming, and I thank the board for all of its hard work over the years, and the wise staff from a couple different administrations to bring this project to life. So it's taken some time and due diligence amongst everybody, and I thank you guys. I thank the board and our residents. I continue here that are excited to hear it. Not to mention they're happy about the light.
Yes,
So-
the island is resolved. We got a lot of good things that have happened.
Unless anybody else has any questions for them right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on, this evening's order of business, item number 2 would be a consideration for approval of a construction license agreement and payment of $17,486.67 for easement fees with ComEd for the village's 52 water sewer extension project. Public Works.
Thank you, Mayor. So as we continue to move forward with our water sewer extension project along US 52 across the tracks, we are finalizing our design and working directly with ComEd, especially to satisfy their permit requirements. They require execution of a construction license agreement, and which the agreement establishes the permanent and temporary easements for the project itself. The permit application also requires a payment in the amount of $10,773.78 for the permanent easement fee, plus $6,712.89 for the temporary easement, which totals $17,486.67. Mr. Silverman, our attorney, has reviewed the license agreement. It is a standard ComEd agreement. Staff is recommending the village board approve the ComEd construction license agreement and payment totaling $17,486.67. Any questions?
Pretty straightforward for our extension project. Anybody have any questions?
I'll make a motion for the approval of a construction license agreement and payment of $17,486.67 for the easement fees with ComEd for the village's US 52 water sewer extension project.
Motion by trustee Selfridge.
Second.
Second by trustee Babiak. Roll call, please.
Brockman.
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
Selfridge.
Yes.
Amos.
Yes.
And Babiak. Yes.
All right. Item number 3 would be consideration for approval of a resolution allowing the village of Shorewood to perform work on state highways within the village of Shorewood. Back over to Norio one more time, or a couple more times.
Thank you, Mayor. So this is just a formality. This is a resolution that will allow village staff to work on state right-of-ways. We still have to coordinate with IDOT. We still have to apply for the permit. Basically, the resolution says that we will ensure that our work meets IDOT minimum standards. Our existing resolution expired in 2018, and we were just notified recently by IDOT. So this resolution is for 2026 and 2027. We are recommending approval of the resolution allowing the village of Shorewood to perform work on state highways within the village. Any questions?
This one's more of a housekeeping issue, just to bring everything up to snuff. Unless anybody has any questions?
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution allowing the Village of Shorewood to perform work on state highways within the Village of Shorewood.
Second.
Motion by trustee Babiak, seconded by trustee Amos. Roll call, please.
Chapman?
Yes.
Selfridge?
Yes.
Amos?
Yes.
Babiak? Yes. And Brockman?
Yes.
Item number 4 is consideration for approval of an ordinance prohibiting the use of certain property of groundwater as potable water by the installation or use of potable water supply wells or any other methods. This item is up for a first read. We do ask that we keep this as a first read for dialogue.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mayor. So VP Amico has been working with IEPA to address and remediate a pollution from a leaking fuel tank from many years ago. It was required that all properties within this specific area where the plume or this pollution is located, this area cannot be on a private well. The last parcel was recently switched to Village Water. To finalize IEPA's requirements, a groundwater protection ordinance must be adopted. We will not permit, basically it says that we will not permit any wells within this area for potable drinking use to be installed in this specific area, which is in the exhibit. Our attorney has reviewed and provided no further comments. Staff is recommending the village board approve the groundwater protection ordinance prohibiting the use of wells for potable use. Any questions?
Council, is there any other reason is it permissible to go ahead and waive the second read on that one? I know it's more
Sure,
of an ordinance.
I see no reason why we
Okay,
shouldn't.
I'd rather just defer back to for clarity on that.
Is there a time limit on this, or is it?
It's pretty much in perpetuity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve ordinance prohibiting the use of a certain property of groundwater as potable water supply by the installation or use of potable water supplies or by any other method, and waive the second read.
Motion by trustee Amos, second by trustee Chapman. Roll call, please.
Selfridge?
Yes.
Amos?
Yes.
Babiak? Yes. Brockman?
Yes.
And Chapman?
Yes.
All right, item number 5 will be a consideration for approval of a proposal for professional services with Tria Architecture for the village's 2027 Whitetail Park Reconstruction Project, OSLAD grant application of the lump sum fee of $13,000. Public Works, one more time.
Thank you, Mayor. So while we're starting our construction on Farm Park in Huntington now, we are already starting to plan for the next one. Whitetail is our next park. It was constructed in in 2000. The park is 25 plus years old. The park itself is located in the Kipling subdivision, has a lot of open space. So there's a lot of potential for us to install new amenities that we might score well for an OSLAD grant. The OSLAD grant does require a park master plan, not a master park for the entire community, but for the park itself. Budget worksheets are also required, and we have to comply with IDNR's formatting of their environmental assessment statements and such. We have $13,000 in our budget. Our future budget for this project will be roughly around $800,000, assuming that we do receive a $400,000 OSLAD grant. Staff is recommending approval of the proposal for professional services with Tria Architects for OSLAD grant assistance for our 2027 Whitetail Park reconstruction project for a lump sum fee of $13 grand. Any questions?
If everybody recalls, we applied for a couple of OSLAD grants for a river crossing park. We were pretty successful getting a couple of those. So we didn't do anything this past year, but with this size project, we thought this would be a good opportunity to try to present. So the questions, take a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion for the approval of a proposal for professional services with Tria Architecture for the village's 2027 Whitetail Park Reconstruction Project OSLAD grant application in the lump sum fee of $13,000.
Motion by trustee Selfridge.
Second.
Second by trustee Babiak. Roll call, please.
Amos?
Yes.
Babiak? Yes. Brockman?
Yes.
Chapman?
Yes.
And Selfridge?
Yes.
Thank you.
Item number 6 will be a consideration for approval of an ordinance approving and authorizing an amendment to the annexation agreement for GoPro LLC. This item is up for a first read. Over to Ms. Engel.
Thank you, Mayor. In 2020, Kendall County and the Village of Shorewood worked with GoPro on a plan to develop a sports dome on County Line Road. GoPro entered
We'll
into
call you up when we're ready.
GoPro entered into a traditional annexation agreement with Shorewood that included the plan and talked about what would happen upon annexation. Unlike the annexation agreements that you saw for the fire district and county line solar, this is not a Chatham annexation agreement, so the plans were reviewed by Kendall County according to their ordinances. Kendall County was also responsible for permitting and inspections. The plan on the screen shows was what was included in the annexation agreement. So it included a sports dome and an accessory restaurant. There was what's highlighted in blue is an asphalt driveway and an asphalt parking lot, as well as a gravel ring road surrounding the dome. They proposed foundation landscaping on 3 sides of the restaurant, on the north side of the parking lot and on the south access road. There was also a pond to the north, which served this property, as well as Four Seasons storage to the east of it, as well as a septic field, which is on the southeast side of the property. The site was not built exactly according to plan, so Kendall County has been holding up the final certificate of occupancy. At this point, the site plan meets all of Kendall County's ordinances, so they're ready to move forward with an amendment to the site plan and issue the final CO. They are, however, holding it up because we would need to amend our annexation agreement to allow it. Staff's first instinct was to tell the property owner to meet the approved plan, but that appears to be financially impossible at this time. We appreciate that this puts Kendall County in an awkward situation, so we worked with the property owner to put together an annexation agreement amendment to present to you this evening. It includes a phasing plan to try to get us closer to what the original plan called for. So I'll just go over that briefly over the next few slides. The access drive is one of the items that's addressed. So there was a proposed access drive around the dome. There was supposed to be a grassy area. In fact, when they poured it, which shows as darker on the second picture, is just a gravel area. We feel that, you know, this wasn't per plan, and they've agreed that if you approve this amendment, they will build it per plan, or at least within the proper configurations by the end of 2028. And the photo shows what it looks like right now. So they ultimately put gravel all the way to the edge. We would allow them to do grass and then the gravel drive, or the gravel drive and then grass, but not just a whole swath of gravel. The approved plan called for a 114 space parking lot. That parking lot was expanded later and reconfigured without a permit to 194 spaces. There wasn't a permit, so we didn't realize that they were doing this until it was too late. What the proposal suggests is deferring the approval to Kendall County because they did have boots on the ground, so we feel that they're in a better position to be able to address that. Due to the dissolution of the relationship between GoPro and their GC, there were 2 soil stockpiles that remained on the property. They planted these with grass to avoid erosion, but we feel that it would be better if they were eliminated. This proposal gives them until the end of next year to get that taken care of and to plant the grass as was originally planned for. For a variety of reasons, they chose not to plant landscaping exactly as proposed. They did plant the landscaping along the front of the building, eliminated it along 2 sides, as well as some of the grassy areas, and decided it wasn't practical to plant the trees because of the parking lot extension and because of the location of the septic fields. We're coming forward with a proposal to install the required amount of landscaping, although potentially shifted to different locations. By the end of this year, they've actually done a significant amount of that already. So this proposal that they've got right now includes the landscaping right along the front of the building, as well as some screening landscaping along the south side, because there's an adjacent use that really should be buffered a little bit more. Typically, this wouldn't meet Shorewood standards, but this was a project that was reviewed and approved in Kendall County, so we've prepared this amendment for you to consider. You have the option of, you know, approving this amendment, giving us suggestions for another one, or enforcing the ordinance as was originally approved for the original annexation agreement. We're happy to answer any questions that you have.
This is staff working with Kendall. Obviously, this property being on the Kendall County side, it does meet the Kendall requirements, but as noted, it did not meet the annexation agreement or the proposed, not annexation, but did not meet the proposed development standards that were proposed back in 2020. They were trying to work with Kendall. Kendall's trying to work with us to make certain, trying to find a amenable mechanism to find a balance there to get them moving, but yet, get them an occupancy permit established. But anybody have any questions for Natalie? Otherwise, we can leave it as a first read even which will be fine in case anybody has any questions or think of anything. By all means.
Did you say the landscaping is planted, the trees?
So we haven't confirmed that they've got quite the right number of plant units, but we did work with their landscape architect to come up with something that would sort of screen the south end of the property, because there's that landscape business with all the logs and whatnot on the south side of them. So they did plant some arborvitae and some trees there.
And the petitioner's here if anybody has any questions for the petitioner.
Yeah, you can see some of that southern landscaping at the bottom left-hand corner of that screen.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they could come on up and give us the reason why they haven't taken care of the plantings that were required under Kendall County and us.
Sure. So obviously when the project started in 2020, both Jason and myself, we went through basically, there and back, if you know what I mean. We had a GC, it was on the project that we had to be removed from the project due to just him not being, I guess you want to say, fair to us. So we took over the project ourselves, got it to the point, worked with Kendall County, delivered our final civil plan back in October of 2024, showing what was left on the grounds. As you can imagine, during that period, obviously we went through COVID, we went through a lot of inflation, we went through a lot of things that the bank, unfortunately at that time, we couldn't control, right, with the economy. During that time, Kendall County took our septic field that she showed where the landscape was on the trees, had to expand that due to it wasn't up to their code. So the original plan that was sent to you guys on that septic field actually had to expand. So some of the trees that were listed up there on that screen, unfortunately, were unable to be planted on certain sides of that septic field due to the plastic tubing and the aerated system that they ended up going with. That was approved by Kendall County before, obviously, we installed. They're the ones who actually gave us the project rep in order to hire them for the project. So we received a referral from them in order to do that. The trees to where the two big piles were left, unfortunately, that was left by Austin Tyler, one of our contractors at that time. And we tried to get that removed, but unfortunately they did not want to remove the dirt from the facility. That was never a part of the plan. We were kind of unfortunately stuck, and it was during the time where we had to let our GC go, and so that was basically brought on us at that time. The road and what they showed around the dome, unfortunately, if you go to a lot of the domes that are being built, snow comes off of that dome in the winter. So where that agreement was, you cannot put grass there due to the fact that it'll get destroyed in the winter when they were moving. That snow piles up as high as Jason, right? 6 feet, 7 feet when you have only a couple inches because it slides off. So our proposed plan was to add the grass on the outside, which is what we're planning on doing. And as Natalie said, we've been working with Natalie now for about, 9 months to a year, roughly, since we met with her and the mayor as well. And we put together a plan that we feel is affordable for us. We're still technically, due to the situation financially with the banking world, we are in the process of refinancing and getting out of what our construction cost originally was. Due to some SBA guidelines, unfortunately, we're still in the construction loan from the beginning. So that's another portion. We've been paying almost double of what we should be paying, and that's where a lot of our funding went to in order to complete some of the things on property. So that has a lot to do with, obviously keeping afloat, bringing roughly about 47 jobs to the location, having 33 individual programs for Jason with kids from the ages of 8 to 18, majority of them from the Shorewood or Plainfield area. We also have, obviously, an restaurant establishment that we brought in. That's about 26 roughly jobs inside of there as well. Full service restaurant. Some of you guys, I believe, have ate in there, so I appreciate the support on that. But outside of that, that's kind of where the landscaping is. The landscaping in the front of the building, touch on that, has been completed. The landscaping, as Natalie showed you, and she worked with us on that, which I appreciate, and my landscaper, to plant the trees and just relocate the trees on the property to meet codes for your restrictions or your guidelines. Outside of that, I mean, I think Kendall County's been great to work with, and so has Natalie since we've started working with her. So I'm open if there's any questions.
No, I think the other big question is going to be for Natalie, what are the repercussions if they don't meet, if the landscaping, I think that it's pretty obvious they're moving forward and trying to meet those requirements. I think the biggest expense that's going to come forward is obviously the paving around the back of the building to eliminate the gravel or, the soil relocation or remediation there. What would a potential consequence be? Because I'm sure that would be brought up here.
So we would be in a very similar situation to where we're at today, where we'd either have to choose to enforce our annexation agreement, and then that would be sending them notices and taking them to court, or we would have to come up with a different plan. Technically the repercussion is enforcing our agreement, which probably ends up being in court.
My next question then is for Natalie. Are you okay with this?
I don't love it. I think that we would typically, if it's were a Shorewood property and we had been working with them every step of the way, we probably wouldn't allow this amount of latitude, but it's in a very unusual situation where we have a site plan that we've approved and it's in somebody else's jurisdiction. So from that perspective, I'm inclined to defer to Kendall County on this.
Yeah,
Definitely, it's definitely a unique location because of the fact that it's just across the county line.
absolutely, yeah.
And what they're doing right now, Kendall County every month is going to their board and extending their temporary CO. So we're kind of, it's neater for us if we let Kendall County go ahead and give them that and then take our chances down the road.
And my wife and dog and me, we like the patio too. So we don't want you to leave. Yeah. I wasn't being critical, I was just wondering. I heard economics, logistics.
Yeah, no, we're
obviously during COVID, that's what really caused this project
Yeah.
to get out of control as far as, we bought the land in 2019, and then we were securing loans, and then when COVID hit, obviously that pushed us back a year where we couldn't do anything, so I had an existing business in Plainfield. We were trying to get a construction loan, we had one through BMO Harris, everything got pushed off the year. We secured a loan for the first project because originally it was just going to be the dome first. That's what we could have gotten through the SBA.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we did secure that loan in 21, it was June of 21, July of 21 we closed. Shortly thereafter you had gas prices at $6, inflation hit. So we had every contractor wanting way more. The bank that we had 4 or 5 months later got bought up by another bank. Stopped our project, took our interest. So, we've been through a lot. And so as this project went on and dealing with another bank, and potentially, some frivolous stuff that the first bank did with us, there was a lot of things that took place. Kendall County changed our septic field 3 times, which I have no idea why, when they approved the first one. And they knew there was gonna be a restaurant.
Yeah.
So you're talking an $80,000 septic field to $150,000. So it's just constantly trying to get the doors open was an absolute feat. So we kind of tried to accommodate as much as we could.
And I know I got a couple more questions. Seamus?
Thank you. Let's say we accept the amendment, get it passed and all that.
Yeah.
You need to go and kind of restructure your financing. Is that right? I think I
So
heard you say
we
that.
are actually, I'm in the finance world, it's what I do for a living,
Yeah.
I work for the banking. So what we're doing now, and it's common, when you build a project like that, you move into it's called a 7A SBA loan, and then you move over to a 504. So we're in the process now, we should have the financing settled by June. We've been on time making payments, it's just that it's obviously a little bit more than what we expected from the beginning, that's all.
So if we pass this, it's a big key to this whole thing to move, when looking forward and getting this thing to
Yes.
prosper.
Huge.
What else is there in front of you, if I may ask, other than the financing?
Well,
That's the main one.
that's the main one.
And you
Once we get-
intend on doing what Natalie's worked out and put on paper here?
Correct, yeah, I mean, we're in the process now with TZ Landscape, who's right here, and I believe they, in Shorewood, they have a Shorewood address, I know they're on the other side of 52. But Tom has been working with me, and then I also have another individual who does trees. But yeah, from a landscape perspective, we're well moving forward, and it's already been discussed about the mounds and some of the things in the back of the property.
Thank you, good luck. Question to Natalie, is there any timing in terms of getting the landscaping and all the stuff done that is there timing in the agreement?
There is timing in the agreement.
Okay.
The latest date goes to 2028. Most of it is by the end of next year.
Thanks, guys, good luck.
Thank you.
And I believe the landscaping was referenced at the end of this year.
Yeah, the plantings will be
Yeah.
by the end of this year, and then the grass roadway and stuff like that goes longer.
Scott?
What, can you recall what that like zoning area is around the dome? Is that planned for like residential, or is it more industrial type stuff?
So to the north and the west of the dome, it's owned by Minooka High School District. So theoretically, it will be a high school in the future. To the south is zoned agricultural. We look at that as potentially a commercial node in a residential area. Right now, there's a fairly new business there operating in the agricultural district. It's more of like a commercial landscape business, I guess you'd say. I think they call it forestry. And then to the east is the property we looked at for a solar farm in Kendall County, but that's we call for that to be residential with a commercial node.
So when you looked at the landscaping, or when you are looking at it, are you considering, I guess, a potential school being up north and whatever screenings might be?
It was reviewed according to Kendall County
Okay.
Landscape Code, which is much lower than ours.
Gotcha, okay.
When we looked at this annexation agreement, it was really big picture stuff, like how are they gonna hook up to water, what's it gonna be zoned in the future, what uses can't go there. It wasn't a typical Shorewood site plan.
Okay. That's all my questions.
Okay. Yes, sir.
This is just to get it off my back, but ever since you came there, your attorney was present at the planning and zoning. Were you there that you were on board?
I was in the planning and zoning, yes, not the board.
Your attorney stated that 15 acres out front would never be planted to corn because of the bad intersection. And we've had 5 straight years of corn on that corner, and God only knows how many traffic accidents that created. But I guess the state's going to take care of that now, in 2 years from now, with a roundabout. But that wouldn't have cost anybody anything just to tell the farmer not to plant corn there anymore, you know. But your attorney stood right there and told us they have an agreement they'll never plant corn there, and it's in the record because I went back and looked at it. That wouldn't have cost anybody a dime, you know. So.
Yeah, I did not know that. Is that Daniel Kramer? Is that who it was?
Mm-hmm.
Do you intend to address that? Can you address that?
It's the first I'm hearing of it. I had no idea from Mr. Kramer. He's never informed us.
That project.
I do know about 52
under litigation for a solar.
in County Line Road. There's obviously
Did
serious
someone buy that property though? I mean, that's to the
accidents.
south of us is that wood chip or that mulch farm.
I think he's talking across the street on the 52. I'm sure.
No, we're talking directly south of the wood
Oh, that's
pile.
Nash. Yeah. That was actually purchased, I believe, after us. They weren't there when we started. They weren't
I believe
there.
all you own is your drive aisle.
I own
and
the drive. We own the whole road.
And the GoPro property.
Correct, the road.
That's not yours.
That is not ours on the corner, no.
It
But
did come forward though at the same time as Four Seasons Self-Storage.
What did you say, Natalie?
It did come forward at the same time as Four Seasons Self-Storage, and they own the property that is right up against County Line Road, and then south of it, I believe it's owned by Briscoe.
yeah, Briscoe.
So I'm not sure what authority the attorney had to speak to those properties because they didn't own them, but we can certainly address that.
Steve, if I could make a comment though, I do get complaints a lot about that corner of 52, the corner you're speaking of, about the accidents there. I just was curious to see because, we do have a lot of high traffic now with the dome.
We're well aware of it. We're working with the state, and as everybody knows, that project's moving forward. But back to this instance here, it was up for a first read. If everybody's comfortable with it, Council, are you comfortable with that? Okay, so if the board's comfortable with it, you can waive the second read. You continue to clear
The
the
staff recommendation is to approve it. Yeah.
It's to approve it, and mostly for the benefit of Kendall County being able to take care of their business.
Yeah, no, it's, like, I drove through the property, like, the pond is kind of a mess. Like, if you guys could clean it up, like, I think it would go a long way. That's fine.
Yeah. Go ahead, if you're.
I'll
up for it.
make a motion for the approval of an ordinance approving and authorizing an amendment to the annexation agreement for GoPro Ball LLC and waive the second read.
Second.
Motion by trustee Selfridge, seconded by trustee Amos. Roll call, please.
Babiak,
Yes.
Brockman,
No.
Chapman,
Yes.
Selfridge,
Yes.
and Amos.
Yes.
Lonnie, you can call the mayor on that one too.
And Mayor DeBold.
Yes. All right, that amendment's been approved. Please, gentlemen, abide by that ordinance and keep your part of the deal too. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we will.
We're happy to try to work with you guys and try to come to an amenable solution for everybody.
Yeah, thank you, I appreciate
Good luck,
it.
guys.
We'll be on.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Business item number 7 will be a consideration for approval of a temporary structure and seasonal outdoor retail use at 103 East Jefferson pursuant to the compliance with section 10.3 of village ordinance. This has got Natalie on it, but as everybody's aware, can you put that map back up, Natalie? This is the group that usually sets up the flower shop down there at the corner of 52 and 59. The operator has already came and approached us, just looking to get the permit in place, get the approval. He may not have somebody available to operate it right now. The family that was going to do it kind of just backed out on it, but they are trying to secure somebody, and rather than losing the season or having to push it out a couple more weeks, they're just asking to try to at least get the approval in place. So it's something that we've done routinely for the last handful of years. It's been pretty successful. So unless anybody's got any objections.
So the stuff hasn't been dropped there already?
No.
They're still waiting?
It hasn't.
Okay.
And they were really good when we asked them to not operate because we had construction. They were really good about stopping for a few years, and they've come back and asked permission.
And there's been no issues in the past?
No, they're very easy to work with.
Yeah.
If there's no other questions, I'll make the motion to approve a temporary structure and seasonal outdoor retail use at 103 East Jefferson Street pursuant to compliance with section 10-3-12 of the village ordinance.
Second.
Motion by trustee Amos, seconded by trustee Selfridge. Roll call, please.
Brockman,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Selfridge,
Yes.
Amos.
Yes.
And Babiak.
Yes.
All right, that is, we'll move into our trustee comments for the evening as we kind of wind down. Over to trustee Amos.
No comment.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Babiak.
No comment.
Thank you. Trustee Brockman.
No comment.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Chapman.
No comment.
Thank you, sir. And trustee Selfridge.
No comment, Mayor.
Real quick, prior to going to executive session, I want to congratulate trustee Chapman, who's been selected to participate in an honor flight, and he's leaving tomorrow morning. So, as a veteran and being selected to participate with that, thank you for your service and congratulations. I think it's a great privilege and honor to be able to participate in that, and we want everybody to know that you've been selected to get to do that.
Yeah. Actually, you can thank my daughter.
All right.
She's the one that put me in.
Well, congratulations. I think it'll be a once in a lifetime opportunity. So, with that, I do need to ask for a motion to go into executive session, discuss pending litigation. Pending and imminent litigation to the village.
So moved.
Motion by trustee Amos.
Second.
Second by trustee Babiak. Roll call, please.
Chapman,
Yes.
Selfridge,
Yes.
Amos.
Yes.
Babiak.
Yes.
And Brockman.
Yes.
All right. meeting for April 14th, 2026. I guess for formality, for formality's sake, the board has reconvened from executive session. There's no action to be taken. With that, I request a motion to adjourn the regular village board meeting.
So moved.
Motion by trustee Babiak, second by trustee Amos. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Amos,
Yes.
Babiak.
Yes.
Brockman,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
and Selfridge.
Yes.
All right, thank you. We have adjourned the village board.